All right. Hello, I'm back,
We are here, and she's back.
and we're queer.
She's been,
I'm
she,
queer.
she's been in the Air Force.
Been on hiatus.
She's back.
You know how people say that?
Yeah. Why were you on hiatus?
No, dude, you just we're busy.
Let's talk about why you were on hiatus.
Okay, fine.
You told me you needed some time to reflect, and you said that you weren't sure if you wanted to be on the podcast anymore.
Yeah, because this
And
podcast sucks.
you're saying that girls weren't liking you because you were doing the podcast.
Dude, you know what my coworker told me
What?
yesterday? He was like, you should be on TikTok. You should make TikToks. And I'm like,
Why?
why? He's like, because you'll get a girlfriend. And I'm like,
Is that how it works?
I'm like, how, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, trust. And I'm like, what the
Does
heck?
he have a TikTok?
Probably. Well, he's gay.
Okay.
And he has a boyfriend. But I kind of get what he means because I remember, my friends in Oregon, they would, show me videos of, girls post, single in Portland, and they're just,
On TikTok?
yeah, and then they're, going to, a coffee shop or something. You know what I mean?
Interesting. So they're just putting themselves out there
Basically, yeah.
on the web.
And I'm like, that's so freaking weird,
Isn't
dude.
it crazy how we used to call the internet the web, the World Wide Web,
I never called it that.
and now it feels like it's not the web.
Never called it
It
that.
feels like it's like a suffocating,
A suffocating,
forceful,
slow death. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
The web.
It feels like an ocean.
The
It
interwebs.
doesn't feel like a web. It feels like an ocean, and I'm suffocating in it.
You okay?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah, I've been on hiatus. Been real busy. It's been
Yeah.
a busy summer for me.
So we'll just catch us up.
um,
Just fill us in.
We're
not editing anything.
I went to, yeah, that's scary.
So.
I went to Texas. You weren't there, which was weird. Alexis, Texas.
Yes, that's a good one.
I went to Texas, and Texas sucks, dude. Did I tell you that?
You did tell me that. You said you don't like Texas. You
I
said
like
it
how
was
you're
really.
in that chair. You're gonna start doing some
You said it was really hot in Texas.
It was disgustingly hot, dude.
Yeah.
So
let's not talk about weather. Let's talk about
culture.
Let's talk about what's your period like?
Oh, right. That's what we're supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
How's your period lately?
My period, you know what? My second day is always the hardest for me.
Same.
It's heavy. I don't feel good.
She has a heavy flow.
I have a heavy flow and a wide set vagina.
It's not her fault.
It's not my fault. I can't help it. I don't have.
You're like, by the way,
it's not a wide set vagina. Or, I mean, sometimes it can be heavy.
Oh, are they gonna say sometimes it can be wide set? I'm like, whoa,
TMI.
Whoa.
How do you feel looking at yourself right now?
Oh, I was looking at you.
How do you feel looking at yourself though?
Dude, I don't like it because you're freaking trash talking me.
I don't like it either.
You're like,
I don't like this
you look
shit.
dead and gray.
You look gray.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you said that about me.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck.
You're not even a gray person. You're very brown.
Yeah, this shit makes me look gray. It's weird.
Maybe it'll look better
as the night goes on. As our lips start getting red from the wine.
Maybe you just need more wine.
Wine solves everything.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Your mom's like, shut up.
My mom's like, oh, great.
I know. The night has just begun.
Wouldn't your mom think that every time
I remember my mom would come into the room and she'd be like, why do you go to sleep?
Why are you guys still doing that? She's like,
that sounds all like her.
She's like leaving to work. Why are you guys still up? And we're like, No, I remember this one time your mom was like, you're dumb.
I know.
And the way she said it, she meant that shit.
mom hates me. No, she doesn't. She loves me.
She's just like
She,
harsh sometimes, I
yeah,
guess.
she's super like
She can be a tough lady, a tough cookie.
she's she just gives me a lot of tough love.
Yeah, but
That's
like
that's what I would say.
she made smoothies for us though.
So it's like also real love.
Yeah, it's like okay, she really does.
She loves
She
me.
has a nice sweet soul.
My mom is sweet.
Yeah,
She's
she's a
the sweetest
sweetie.
person like I've ever met.
But yeah, she
It's
said
almost annoying
that's why when
sometimes.
she called you dumb, I was like, "Oh shit,
You're like, ouch.
she's pissed."
Um. Anyway, back to the periods.
Yeah, period
Okay,
talk.
so why did you want to make this a topic? Like, tell me, what was your thought
So,
process? What were you thinking about?
okay, chill.
Where was this coming from?
When did you get your period? So, I got my first period when I was just kidding.
When did you get your first period?
In middle school,
What age?
like 12.
I was in seventh grade going into eighth grade.
Yeah,
Some would say that I was a late bloomer.
really?
Yeah.
Seems like right on time. Like
I guess in
average.
at my school, all the girls had gotten their periods already.
Mm. Oh, okay.
So like for
Gotcha.
me, I was just like, oh, I guess I'm late.
Well, I remember when I got mine, my mom was like, "Already?" And I was like, "What do you mean already? Like, isn't this not the age?" Like,
I remember when I told my mom,
she said, "You're dumb."
she was on the phone and then she's like I was like, "Mom, I don't know if it's my period. I don't know if I got my period. I don't know what this is." And then she's like, "Show me your underwear." So I show her my underwear and she's on the phone and she's like, I was like, "I
all,
got my
all
period."
chill. She's like, "Yeah, hold on, give me a second. I'll help you out right
Like
now."
I'll never forget that moment. Like she was on the phone with like my Nina or
She didn't get
something.
off the phone. She's like, "Yeah."
I don't remember what happened after that. She might have told my Nina that like I got my period or something, but like
She called everyone up.
I just remember being like, okay, I
You're
got my
like,
period.
okay, cool. Yeah, it wasn't like a big deal because I remember it wasn't like a lot of blood.
Have you heard of girls having period parties now? Like
Yeah, I
people are
have. I watched a stand up comedian talk about his
Bert
daughter.
Kreischer.
I don't know his
He didn't
name.
have a shirt
Is
on.
no. Yeah, this guy had a shirt on. He
It was
said
probably
his
Bert Kreischer.
okay, maybe. This guy was saying his daughter had a period
Is he
party.
fat?
No, not really. No, his name's Nate or Nathan.
Oh, weird.
And they had like red velvet cake and they invited over boys and they named their period and shit.
This sounds like Bert Kreischer.
Nah, they just probably steal each other's jokes.
Probably. Maybe I'm confusing it. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah, that's like
anyway,
a new thing now.
that's really cool. I wish we would have done that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Um, well, so I
So,
wanted to talk about
are you camera shy?
no, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think you are.
Why?
I feel like you're holding back.
What? I'm holding back. I think you're
Um,
holding back.
maybe I am. Maybe I'm camera shy.
You definitely are.
I totally am.
Like what?
I hate that I have to, not that I have to do this, but I just like,
You know, we don't have to face the camera. We can look at each other. You want to turn?
no, because this isn't my good side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, notice I'm not looking at you
You haven't
whatsoever.
moved your
I'm like,
neck.
no,
You haven't moved your neck at
I'm not
all.
moving. I'll just look at you here.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic of like womanhood or being a girl and shit.
You're pregnant? Imagine
I'm
this is the
pregnant.
episode where you're like, I'm pregnant.
Dude,
I'm
that'd be
having a
crazy.
baby.
That'd be
I'd be
crazy.
like, shut the fuck up. I'm turning
You're
this off right now.
you're the godmother. You're the Thea.
Okay.
I'm turning this off. We're ending this. I'm leaving. Well, yeah, I was like on my period or whatever, and then I had noticed like my mood had shifted like so much, and I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
This is
What did you feel like? What were your
I
thoughts?
felt like needy and like kind of sad for like no reason.
Hmm.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, where's this coming from?
Do you
Like,
think it
came
was
out of
like
nowhere.
no reason, or do you think there was like,
No, it was like no reason.
okay,
No more questions. Um, yeah, there was like no reason. So I was just like, ugh, like this is stupid. And then I started my period, and I was like,
that makes
oh,
sense.
okay, now I get it. And then like that day, and then the next day, I'm just like, ugh. Like even at work, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And like usually I go in and I'm like, hey, like you know,
Are you that person when you go into work, you're like really like amped up?
yeah.
You hype people up?
Which is funny because I haven't always been like that.
You're definitely not like that.
Okay. That is not you.
It's definitely not me.
No, I am. I'm the person that's like, hey, how's it going? Like, how you doing?
You know, I would say that I think when we were younger, you were probably a little more like that. I think it's because like we didn't know each other that well.
What do you mean when we were younger? We knew each other when we were young.
Yeah, we're old now.
Yeah.
So at some point, we did know each other when we were younger.
Okay.
So you used to kind of be more like, hey, like,
Yeah.
let's do this, guys. And yeah, now I don't get that from you.
Really?
Yeah. You don't get into my car and you're like, hey, like, let's record and let's, I don't
Oh.
get that from you.
Well, it's because I was drunk all the time before. So,
The energy was infused by the alcohol.
yes, it
Yeah.
was all alcohol.
Okay.
But yeah, that's interesting that you said that because,
Because at work you're
yeah,
extroverted.
yeah, I'm pretty extra. I mean, not like extra extra, but I'm like, pretty like uppity. Like I'm in a good mood when I get there.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I don't work in the mornings, I am in a good mood.
Okay.
So,
I guess I could see myself being more happy if I didn't have to wake up so early.
yeah, cuz in the morning shifts I would be like slower to be like,
Yeah. I hate waking up in the morning.
So,
So it explained everything. And so you just came up with the idea of talking about periods.
yeah, I literally just texted you and I was like, dude, like we should talk about being a girl cuz like that
Being,
shit sucks sometimes.
yes,
And like,
a biological girl.
yeah.
Right.
Um
Just to be clear.
Yeah, just that part sucks. Not really. Well, actually other things suck about it too, like
Totally.
societal reasons and I guess even like family, like your cultural values and shit, like how they
Mm-hmm.
expect a woman to be in the family, you
Right.
know? Like, oh, you have to have kids and you have to be there for your husband and all this shit and it's like
Yeah.
why? Like and I have to work. What? Like
Yeah.
that's
You
so
gotta do
messed
all
up.
these things.
Yeah. So it's messed up like all around. And I think we've talked about that
Yeah,
before.
for sure.
And it's just hard, I guess, but I don't know, since I'm gay, I guess I don't I mean, I have to worry about it, but I guess not as
Not
much.
as much.
But
What do you think are the differences? Like, what do you think you don't have to worry about that I do
like
because you're gay? What do
well,
you think those differences are?
I mean, for you, I feel like your significant other's like family might have expectations of you, like,
Hmm.
hey, like, when are you guys
Like
gonna
I
have
need to have
kids?
kids. Yeah.
When, oh, like, why aren't you cooking for him? Why aren't you, why isn't the house clean? Like, why aren't you presentable like this certain
Ooh.
way? Like,
Yeah.
why aren't you like making him happy? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And like, it's not like your family's gonna be like that
Yeah.
about him necessarily.
Yeah.
Like maybe a little bit, but
Yeah. My family's.
especially in like a Latin family, the Chavez.
We're both Chavez.
But like for me, I don't know.
You don't have as much of that pressure to like have a kid
I mean, there
or
no, definitely not to have kids, but of course there's still pressure to be like a good person, like to be a decent like
yeah. Yeah, I guess there are
I
like
mean,
some
it's
differences
kind of
on
like,
that
well,
end.
what are you gonna like make up for if you're not gonna like have kids and you're not gonna provide, like, what do you have to offer, basically?
Right.
And it's like, oh shit, like, what do I have to offer? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Um, you ended your period recently.
Mm,
But I think
it was like a
I think
week
I need to
ago.
pick up the energy.
Yeah, dude, you okay?
I'm like paralyzed right now. I'm like, uh-huh. And then I think it's because I'm getting like
You're
sleepy.
getting your period, dude. I
Are you okay?
I gave you a lot of wine.
Maybe that's it because I'm fucking sweating right now.
I poured so much, and you finished it.
That's probably it. I'm like falling asleep. I'm like,
Uh huh.
huh? And how do you feel
You're
about
like
that?
you're like Myra, right?
Okay, I need to pick this up.
Uh huh. Is it the chair?
It's the chair.
Let me fix
The
it.
chair is a
I
little.
can make it
It's a
sit up.
little too cozy.
You really like the chair.
All right, in action. We're on. We are
Lights,
on.
camera, action.
We're here.
Spare
We're
fingers.
present.
We're here and we're queer.
I'm ending my period.
What?
She ended hers. We're talking about periods. What's up?
Taking
Um,
calls.
we're taking calls. I was I was a little down, but now I'm up.
Well, okay, this is what you were saying earlier. You were I was a little down earlier.
It's like this, and then what happened?
Don't worry, we have it on camera.
Okay.
No, you were telling me like you were having a hard time on Saturday.
Okay, so I was having a hard time with my period. I had a mental breakdown.
What happened?
Um, I couldn't stop crying.
Oh my gosh, what a crybaby.
I can't even talk about this right now because you're shaming me.
No, dude, but you cry all the time now, don't
I
you?
do, but I actually haven't cried in like a couple months, so it's been a
You're
minute.
shaming me.
So
Just kidding, just kidding. He starts crying.
I just
I just can't do this
I
anymore.
need to leave.
I have tissue. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I was having a mental breakdown and it I don't want to talk
You
about
don't want to talk.
this.
It's okay. You don't have to. You're
Um,
not ready.
I'm not ready.
But it was because your period.
It was my period, but it was actually also so it was like pent up feelings about just like things that I've been kind of pushing on the side. Do
Oh,
you ever like have feelings where you're like, think about it later?
your procrastination was kicking in.
It was just like a combination of things that I was like pushing away because I was like, I need to focus on other things. So like whatever. And then it all just like came crashing down
Oh,
like
really?
out on at once.
On your period too.
Yes, I
Hell
hadn't
no.
started my period. The next day I did.
Oh, okay.
So that's what happened. And I was like,
It's not good.
yeah, I was like, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
I said, it better be my period.
It better be.
um,
Hey, it's better than not getting it, huh?
that's what I tell myself when I'm struggling with like the worst cramps. I'm like, it's better than not being
It's
on my
better than a
period.
baby coming out.
Yeah, fuck that. You know, it's crazy that like some people are actually like down for like to be pregnant. That's fucking
Some
crazy to
people
me.
are down for that shit. Um, I mean, yeah, it's what we're supposed to do. So,
It's just crazy because I'm not ready. So when I think about having a kid, I'm just like,
when are you gonna have kids?
I don't know.
You're not gonna.
I might. Do you want to?
Hmm.
I might.
I do.
How many? How many kids do you want?
Just two.
Just two. I
It's a good
think
amount.
I think I'm good with just one, but then
Only
I
child?
feel like everyone's gonna make me feel like shit because it would be like one kid.
Nah. I mean, dude, it's up to you.
I feel
Like,
like
what the
one is
heck?
enough.
But that kid's gonna be like, like those people who are like only child and they're like annoying
Weird.
and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
been told that I have only child syndrome.
You do because you and your sister are so far apart in age that you probably act like an only child.
Do you think I do?
Kinda. You're very like baby, bratty.
Yeah, I could see it.
And you're very like there's no other way.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you don't like something, you're like, am I gonna do that? You're like not down to just go with the flow.
I'm
You're
not.
actually you're not a laid back person.
Okay. So I was listening to the episode with you and Jesse,
He's
and this is
also not a
literally what
laid
you
back
said to
person.
him, and he was like, "I feel like I'm pretty laid back. I'm pretty chill," and you're like, "No."
The thing is, you
Now you're
get.
telling me that.
I'm telling you guys that
Who is
because
laid back then?
my cousin.
Yes, you did say your cousins like that.
I'm all sweating here. Dude, that wine got me.
It was a lot.
Okay, so first of all, nobody knows Jesse like I know Jesse, and he's not a laid back person at all whatsoever.
Okay.
And I'm sure people know you, and there are people that know you really well. And I would say like you're a chill person, but you're also not a laid back person either. Because there are a lot of things you'll say like no. You're
No.
definitely maybe more laid back, but there are some things where
As I age.
yeah, there are definitely but I think that's with anybody, right? Like
Yeah.
the older you get, the more you're like, I'm not doing that.
I know what you're talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You're like, I remember that time. I remember that time. What you're talking about? No idea
Also,
what you're talking
also
about. It's like a one-time thing. What are you talking
I know
about? Because
about that
I'm
time.
like forgetting everything
I'm
too.
just saying, like how you said, I'm not. I say no and shit.
Yeah,
Like
you're
I know
remembering that time.
I know there's times in like our early 20s and I'd be like, I'm not doing that or some shit.
Did you take that picture?
No, my friend did.
Oh, I was
I,
like, that's a good picture.
I'm like the one picture that you like. I didn't take that one. I took all the
Did you
other
take that
ones.
one?
Yeah.
That one's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, I took that one. I was
Um,
there though for that one.
it gives me really creepy feelings, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a fun day. A lot of abandoned shit in Oregon.
Anyway, going back.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I definitely have only child syndrome.
Yes. And it's
Yeah.
possible like Jesse's a little similar in some way because him and
Mm,
his sister they have like a huge age gap as well. I think it's
mm.
like 9 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah. Cause me and my sister are 8 years, so
Yeah.
um what was I gonna say? That's why I don't think like
Maybe
having
seven
one
years.
kid is
Yeah.
like a good idea. Cause then
Right.
they're gonna be like kinda
Weird.
like me
Bratty.
and bratty. I'm definitely a brat,
Just
so
like not laid back
yeah,
or
not
chill.
chill. It's like
Just like going with the flow.
we don't go with the flow.
Yeah, my cousin's really laid back. She goes with the flow.
She has
She's always like, whatever,
she
dude.
has like a bunch of siblings.
Whatever. That's what my cousin
Whatever.
says.
She has like a bunch of siblings, or
She has three brothers. Yeah.
oh, okay.
She's kind of a middle, but she's the only girl, so she's also like in some way
I
like
see.
special.
So you're gonna have one kid. What do you
Yeah.
want, a boy or a girl?
I kind of want a girl.
Really? They're gonna say
Yeah,
boy. Huh.
I know. I kind of want a girl because then the little girl, I can just teach her to be like me,
A little
and
Alexis.
she'll take over the world.
Yeah. Alexis Jr.
Yeah, she's gonna be like Doctor Evil
But
or
what if
something.
she like would rather be close with Jesse than you?
You know that's gonna like hurt me, but I'll be like fine, whatever. Like
You're like, bitch.
I'm just gonna go get a dog.
Get more dogs.
Yeah,
Because, there's definitely like girls who are like daddy's girls or
that's
whatever.
true.
So, you should have a boy then. Just kidding.
Do you want a boy?
No, I don't. I would want to have a girl
Yeah.
first and
And
then
then
a
a boy?
boy. Yeah, I definitely want a little Jasmine Jr. But like an older, the older sibling. Yeah,
As the older
yeah.
sibling.
And then yeah, I'll have a boy, but
Yeah, everyone wants like a boy and a girl, right? Like one of each.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Two girls, I guess, would be fine. Two boys might be a lot because my nephews like don't even talk. So I'm just like,
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll go back in to womanhood.
yeah, having kids.
Is this a fun topic? Are you having fun?
Not really.
Me neither.
Sometimes I am, but not the whole time.
It's like,
It's all gray.
look at my face.
Um,
You have a small head.
yeah, I do. You have a big ass head.
I have a huge head. My head is huge next
Well,
to
no,
yours.
it's
Oh,
because I was back
that's
here.
why. Yeah. You actually have a big head.
Now you have a big ass. No, my head's still small.
Okay. So I like how you left like one pepperoni.
Let's do one.
Just one
Dude,
pepperoni.
those were really good. I'm
And
sorry.
half a cracker.
Dude, aren't my legs always like cactuses?
Yeah, dude, I'm one of these days I'm gonna pay for you to get laser hair removal.
Really? It's
Yeah.
expensive.
It's not even that
It's like, no,
expensive.
the legs are. You did on your legs?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fancy. Yeah, dude, they're always like prickly. Makes me feel like a hairy bee.
Remember? Yeah.
A hairy bee.
Remember when we used to do Instagram lives?
Yeah.
What did we talk about?
Well, we were very drunk, first of all. And I know we were eating lots of snacks.
Okay.
We would just talk about random shit, like, because it was during COVID, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there's like a lot to talk
You know what's
about.
crazy? It feels like it was like so long ago.
It doesn't feel like that to me.
For me, it feels like so long
Like,
ago.
what, like 5 years, 10 years?
It feels like 6 years ago.
Why? Well, so much has happened.
Yeah, I think a lot has happened.
I mean, a lot has happened, but it feels like the amount of time, what, 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Feels like that amount of time for me.
Mm,
I don't know why it feels like that for you.
okay. I guess because I moved and
You
I
moved
moved
like
a lot.
20 times.
Okay.
Oh, it's also late.
It is very late and I'm 30 years old. So,
Should we talk about being 30?
yeah, tell me about your experience being 30.
Yeah, well, first of all, people don't think I'm 30.
You know, I'm just FYI. I'm not even like drunk. I'm just like hot and sleepy.
Yeah, that's what wine does to you, huh?
No,
My bad. There's tequila too.
no, no. I have vodka.
You're a vodka girl now?
I've been a vodka soda girl. What are you talking about?
I don't even know you anymore.
Dude, the fact that you don't know that I'm a vodka girl is crazy because I've been doing vodka for years.
How long?
It's been a long time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We don't drink together anymore.
That's true.
Hello?
Well,
The last time we drank together was at in Hollywood and when you got all those tickets.
all those
It's like
all
one
those
ticket.
multiple tickets, plural.
It felt like more than one.
it, I paid it like it was more than one. God damn it!
I was gonna ask you, do you want to go out next Thursday to a club?
A club?
See, this is how it is being 30. That exact moment.
I don't want to go club.
A club? You think I am?
No.
I knew you were gonna
And
say
be
that
like,
shit.
ooh, ooh.
No, dude, it's an 80s club.
Break room?
No, it's called Blue Monday.
Blue
Blue
Monday.
Mondays. And they play like, the hits. Depeche, The Smiths, New Order.
That cheese was really good. Anyway. Okay, so check this out. I'm gonna start it out like Steve does, because Steve was like, that's how he started my whole podcast last
Okay.
episode.
Okay.
He said, check this out.
Check this out.
So this container is a coffee, what do you call these? Like
Um,
a tumbler, right?
Tumblr, yeah.
I filled this up last Sunday with sparkling Topo Chico and vodka.
You have vodka in there?
Yeah. I filled it up last Sunday. It's about right here.
Can I have some?
Yeah.
I can't believe you brought vodka.
So the thing is, on Sunday, I was recording with Steve after I got off of work. And I was like, I'm going to be really tired. I'm also going to be a little bit nervous.
Mm.
And I'm just going to take some because I'm going to drink it throughout the episode. I didn't fucking drink
You didn't
anything.
drink any of it?
So it's like full. And I've had it sitting in
How
my
did you
fridge.
not drink any of it? You said you were nervous.
I don't know.
Because it went by fast, huh?
It went by so fast, and
Yeah.
I just like had to get everything going that I
Yeah.
didn't even like need to drink anything.
So it has flavor or no?
No. It's just, you're probably not gonna like it.
Okay, well, I'll try it.
Try it.
Can't believe it still has ice and everything.
It does.
Oh,
It's all just, it looks like
I'm
water.
so scared right now. It's just water. It's not that bad. It was just that like first initial
Like the drink
been
of like, what does this look like?
it's
What
been
it tastes like?
sitting for sure.
For a week.
It has that sitting taste.
Oh, yeah. It's not that bad.
The same reaction.
It's not.
Yeah, I guess we could drink that instead of the wine. But what are we freaking talking about? Oh, do you want to go to the club with me next Thursday? You and Jesse.
Sure.
Really?
Thursday?
Yeah.
Where at?
I don't want to tell you, but I'll have to tell you.
West Hollywood.
Close.
North Hollywood?
No. Just Hollywood.
Oh my god.
Here, I'll show you. I'll show you. But we can all Uber together from here.
Uber?
This is literally how it is being 30.
It is.
It's like
no, I'm not gonna go to the club.
First of all, it's like, wait, so you're gonna make me leave my house?
For real.
First of all, for what? A club,
It's
a loud
really
place.
Funny how this thing doesn't look like what it really is.
It just looks
it
like
looks
a chair.
like legit, like a chair.
You want to show the people?
No, because
Okay.
then we're gonna mess up the frame.
No, we're not. You just put it back.
I don't want to.
Okay, so
So-
first of all, when you're 30, you have to start considering like all of the future things that you have to do in order to go out.
Yes.
Like, okay, so I have to go drive my car, first of
Mhm.
all. I have to get dressed. I have to possibly wait in a line. No, not a good idea. For what? I have to buy expensive drinks. Like all these negative things, but when you're like 21, you're like, I get to go out. I get to drink alcohol.
When you're 21, you are just like, you have more energy, and like,
I have nothing else to do. Yeah.
I think you want to be out of your parents' house. So you're like, I want to get out and go anywhere. Like, I'm down to
Yeah.
go anywhere.
Yeah.
I want to get away from here.
And then when you're 30, you're like, well, I'm pretty comfy
Yeah.
in my own place, even though I live with my mom. But I'm
Your
pretty
mom's-
comfy.
Yeah. So you're kind of just like, you weigh out like your pros and cons, and you're like, it's actually not really worth it.
Yeah.
I'd rather just save money and be in the comfort of my own home.
Like safe.
You think about like how much money we used to spend.
I'm
like, do I even have a mic? Okay, you think about like, yeah, all the money you used to fucking spend, dude. Like,
I used to have my bank
Ubers.
account to be at like 30 cents, bro. I'm not lying to you, dude.
I know, dude. I've seen your bank account
Oh.
like that.
Yeah, and I was just like,
I
Fun
I have
times.
like a picture in my head of you just like looking at your phone and your bank account and you're like, nah,
I
dude.
remember one time I went to Vroman's. I was trying to buy a book, like a good kid,
Yeah.
and it got declined
Oh
because
man.
of all my drunk escapades. Because remember, dude, I would be like buying drinks like for everybody. I don't do that anymore.
You're very generous. You've always been a generous person. Like if you have money, you'll buy
I
people
never heard you
things.
say that about me.
At least when you were drunk, you were a very generous
That's
person.
yeah, the only time.
I don't know if you're like that when you're sober, if I'm being honest.
I'm not.
But when you were drunk, you're like, yeah, everybody. You're like, dude, I got you. I'm like, really?
Really? You don't even have a job. um yeah, so well, think about it. When's the last time you like went out like dancing?
Dancing.
Dancing.
Dude, I don't
That's
know.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't, that's what I'm saying. You gotta dance.
You gotta. You remember in Selena? We want to dance. Do you remember that part?
I do remember. I'm just trying to think of what scene because I remember it's a girl.
It's when the dad is performing
The dad is performing.
with his other
Oh
two
yeah, yeah, yeah,
guys.
yeah. In the beginning,
Yeah, in the beginning,
and then
they're all like yelling, banging on the car. We want to dance, and then the girl
they're
at
all
the end,
mad.
she's like this, like chubby, she's like, "We want to dance."
So serious.
Yeah, because I watched it
I
recently, and
do
I'm like,
remember
why
that
would she say that? Like,
they were
chill.
serious about dancing because they didn't like how they sang English. They sang
Yeah,
in
they were
English.
singing like uh,
Blue
Blue
moon.
Moon. Yeah, and they were pissed. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
we gotta go out and dance, dude. Every once in a while. That's
Uh-huh.
all I'm trying to say. Listen to our, favorite songs, the
Right.
80s hits.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll think about it.
I'll buy you a drink, okay?
I'd rather you just pay for the parking.
The Uber?
I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll
Alright.
see.
Well, you let me know.
Um,
You're already thinking of reasons like I can't go
I'm
because
just like the parking is gonna be expensive. The drive is crazy.
yeah, you live far, so I'm just throwing it out there. You know what I
It's
mean?
an idea. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going no matter what.
Yeah.
It's only 3.5 miles from here, and it's only Monday and Wednesdays.
You said Thursday.
Sorry, Monday and Thursday.
Anyway, um, okay. So can't even see.
It's gonna be good if Morrissey's on the cover.
Yeah. Nobody talks about like Morrissey being good looking, right?
I mean, not anymore, cause he's like
He's fat.
he's fat. His cracks always showing.
He's a good looking guy though.
Yeah, he has cool hair. He had cool hair back
He
in the
had
day.
cool hair. Anyway, what's your favorite episode so far?
Oh, they're gonna talk about shows again.
What's your favorite episode?
This,
Yeah.
the music one I really like.
Yeah,
I
that's a
also
good one.
like Winging It. I think was a good one. I liked when we interviewed my sister. I like. Oh, does that have to be with me?
No.
Yeah, I like the last one a lot.
Yeah, right? That was
Yeah,
a good one.
maybe
He
we
was
could.
just like a good person to interview.
Yeah, he like seemed like he's been on the radio, like he's been interviewed
Just like experienced
before.
all of life.
Yeah, his stories were really interesting, like how he was a teacher and like how he applies the coffee shop to
The after
like
school programs he was
yeah,
running. Yeah, that
like
was
I
crazy.
want to go to Holy Grounds now because I've only been there like maybe once or twice and I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, it's cool, but it's like way more than that. Like it's deeper than that."
It's definitely, and it almost makes me regret because people would tell me about like Steve when I was younger and I didn't know him. And they would tell me about like, oh, like, you should stop by, like this and this happens, open mic nights are there, whatever. Um,
Mm.
and I just felt like, oh, like even if I don't know, I just felt like there weren't that many cool adults that were like down to listen to you or down like to like have you express yourself in their space. So it was like, oh, like even if I go, like this guy's not gonna care about me or anything. So
You already had an opinion about him just because of his age or whatever.
just because a lot of adults when we were younger just don't really care for us to like use a space. Um, and so all the
True.
people that I knew that did have those type of adults that were like letting them use a space, I was like, oh, well, it's because, this person's like cooler, or this person knows what they're talking
Because of this
about.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really just like a general thing
For
for
everyone.
everyone.
But Steve really is like that.
Yeah,
So,
he's really like that.
yeah, I could tell from the podcast. He's like, yeah, I'd go hiking with these kids. And, like, I guess his partner thought it was, like, weird or whatever.
Mhm.
But, like, to him, he was like, but I'm, like, having a good time, you know? And
Mhm.
then it kind of made me think, like, at what age is it, like, wrong of you to want to be around, like,
Young
people who are
people.
young? Like,
Well, the thing I was telling Steve too is that like he doesn't feel like he's his age. Not that his age is like old or anything,
but
but
he
like
doesn't hang out with people who are, like,
he's
his
he
age.
just has like a very like youthful soul.
For sure. I felt like he was like the way he talks and everything is like in his 30s.
Yeah. So it's just very like when you're kind of like you have this like youthfulness or like this life to you, you almost appear or seem younger. And
Mhm.
then naturally younger people gravitate towards you
Mhm.
because that's what you're like representing, you
Yeah,
know?
and he seems really happy with that choice of his lifestyle, like
Yeah.
hanging out with whoever he's having a good time with.
Mm-hmm.
And he's teaching them things and he's learning things from them too. It
Yeah.
seems like so I thought that was really cool cuz like I feel like people hit a certain age and they're like, "Oh, like the youth are like terrible and like I hate these
Yeah.
kids."
Yeah.
Kind of like you.
I do hate young people.
Yeah.
No, I hate disrespectful young people, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure Steve hates disrespectful young
Yeah.
people too.
And I'm pretty sure the people that went to Holy Grounds or, that work there and stuff were like mature like young adults or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Although he did say he's like I had some kids that were like passed out and like they had a
yeah.
shift in the morning.
But they still went to work.
They were still at work.
Yeah, his story was like honestly inspiring cuz he had the idea like, "Wow, how can I pay for my house?"
Yeah.
And he freaking made a coffee shop. Like
Yeah.
that's so like
It's
who
inspiring.
would think of that? Like a lot of people think of things like that, but like normally people would be like, "Well, I'm gonna have to get like two jobs."
It's just crazy because when you go into Holy Grounds, you see all the details, and when he's actually pointing every single detail to you out, like it's it's like fucking crazy how much time he's thought into everything and how resourceful he
Wow.
is into things.
Uh huh.
Um,
Wow.
and it's just like, you've been to Holy Grounds. I've been to
It's
Holy
been a long
Grounds.
time, yeah.
Me too. Since the last time I was there, but well, I was there last week, but like, I mean, prior to
Before
that,
that, yeah.
it's like a nice place to be in, and it's very like homey.
Mm-hmm. Very
But you just
safe.
don't notice all the little things. And when I went there last week, he's like pointing it
Wow.
out to me.
That's really
He's
cool.
like, these tiles represent, LA and this and that. And then he's like pointing out
What?
like, and these things like I recycled and I put,
That's
it's just like
crazy.
all these little things that he like put details
Because it's
into.
been there for like what, 10 years?
I don't know how long it's
Like a
been there
long
for.
ass time now. So he's been able to like make it very unique.
Yeah. So it's pretty
And
crazy.
he sold the business, which
Mm-hmm.
is even cooler because he didn't even intend to like have a huge business. And
Yeah, he
yeah,
sold his business.
that's really awesome. It
So,
was pretty inspiring, like, to have your own business and to make it like not so rigid and like structured. It's gonna be
yeah.
like, a safe space for everyone
Yeah,
and
because
people to be creative.
even like he's saying like, initially I just wanted it to be open in the mornings and then
And then people wanted to stick around,
yeah.
which is so cool because a coffee shop could be more than just coffee. Like he had bands play, he has artists. I don't even know what else he does, but
Yeah, he was saying they had like they
print.
had print workshops,
That's
something like
so
that.
that's so cool, dude. Like why don't more coffee shops do that, you know?
It's crazy though, but when you like look back at it, it's like he has all this experience working with kids
Yeah, that's true.
and somehow and a lot of businesses or people that are hiring don't realize that people that have experience working with kids can do like so much more than like
Mhm.
they're like creative in so many ways and know how to structure creativeness.
Yeah, that's
um
true.
so
Yeah, it made me also want to like work with kids again cuz he was saying like how much he learned and like you honestly working with kids is so fulfilling because they appreciate it and you can see them changing in a good way
yeah,
where like adults it's like like
they're already like set in their
you
ways.
see a little bit of change but like for some reason like working with kids is just way more fulfilling because you actually have like a big impact on them where like adults might be like
Yeah.
takes a little more maybe sometimes, yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, that it made me like think of that like definitely to like work with kids again and remember like how much you could learn from that.
Yeah, or just like even apply it. I like the way he like gave examples of like applying it to real life or
Yeah.
like how he applied his experience into the coffee shop and stuff.
That's so
I
crazy.
thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah, Steve's a cool dude. I'd love to like meet him someday. Does he still go to Holy Grounds a lot?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool. I want to go get some coffee.
Or yeah, maybe we can plan something because I think he does or he is down to do another episode.
Oh,
So
cuz yeah, the episode wasn't that long. So I was like
yeah, Steve is
could have been
busy.
could
He's
have
a
been
busy guy.
longer. I'm
So
going to go over there.
I did the episode did end kind of like abruptly, but
Yeah. Yeah,
it was,
okay.
I think it was enough. It was like a good taste of like who Steve is.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so that was one of your favorite episodes.
Yeah, there's just so many
I know
episodes. What
this.
what about you? Do you have a favorite?
I can't say I have a favorite episode because I think that would make me an asshole or disrespectful to any guests.
I
So,
guess.
um, I would say all of them are my favorite. So,
Cool.
it's definitely been an adventure. So this is gonna be the final episode. I'm just kidding.
So
Imagine.
this is it, guys. Thanks for
I'm
watching.
done.
Mic drop. Okay, check this out. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so um, has anyone ever given you advice and it's like stuck with you forever, or
Mhm.
it's like stuck with you and you live kind of by it? Has anyone ever given you good advice?
So, well, yeah, remember I told you what my cousin said when I went to Portland?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "We all die alone." Cuz I was saying I was afraid to go alone. And I always think about that. Like we all die alone, you
Yeah.
know? So like don't why are you afraid to like do shit alone or be alone and shit like
Let's
that?
talk about that. Let's talk about being alone. Um,
It's important to be alone for sure.
so at what age did you notice that you were starting to be alone more, or you were comfortable being alone more?
Like in my 20, like when I was 20,
Like early 20s,
like
mid
like
20s,
20 years old.
20.
Yeah. I was like doing everything alone. Not everything. Like I would go on bike rides and I'd go like to the bookstore, I'd go eat, I'd go to the park. you know?
Yeah.
I did a lot of stuff alone.
I never knew that you did so many things alone.
During that time.
Yeah, now that I think about it though, like you would say that you would go to the movies by yourself?
Yeah, I started going to the movies by myself because I was taking a class at PCC where we'd watch movies in
Mm-hmm.
like a big theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I really like this. Like, I'm sitting in a room full of people watching the movie, but I'm by myself watching the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really enjoyed it because it allowed me to like focus on the movie. So after that, I started going to movies by myself,
Hmm.
but I found it really enjoyable.
And then when you're in your mid 20s,
I was in a relationship, so I wasn't able to do things by myself a
was
lot.
that hard for you to do things by yourself?
No, I wanted to do things by myself, but I couldn't.
Okay, you wanted to do things by yourself.
Yeah, I like doing things by myself a lot because usually, dude, like when it comes to like someone else, like and me planning something, I
Mm-hmm.
always have to compromise. But like when it's up to you, doing things by yourself, it's
It's like
completely up to
your own
you. Like what do
terms.
you want to
That is
do?
true.
You know, you don't have to be like, okay, well, like you want to eat this, so we'll go to this place because it's close by and whatever.
That's
But
so true.
like whatever you want to do, you go freaking do it, you know?
That's true.
Unless you're hanging with someone that's like, you decide. I love those people because I will decide.
Yeah, okay. I
It's
love
not even
going
there anymore.
I love going to my favorite food places by myself. I really enjoy
Just eating the food on your own, not
eating the food,
talking to
not
someone.
talking to anybody,
Yeah.
just enjoying the environment
Yeah,
and the
that's true.
flavors.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. And I
I
like being in my car because then nobody bothers
yeah,
me.
windows up. That's true. I hate when you're like enjoying like one of your favorite foods, but you're like with a bunch of people, so you can't really like even focus on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Um, has there ever been a time where maybe you got too used to being with somebody that when you were actually alone, you didn't know how to be alone?
Yeah, probably like after being in a relationship for a long time, I was alone and I was happy, but I immediately wanted to like have somebody with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that and then I wasn't alone anymore. But yeah, like I guess once you're like used to being with someone all the time
Yeah.
and then you're like alone, I feel like it feels more lonely.
Yes. When you didn't choose to be alone,
Yes.
like when you got dumped or something.
Yeah, like if you get dumped, like for sure you're feeling way more lonely. Or even if you went through a breakup and you're
Mm-hmm.
used to being with that person, I feel like you still feel like there's like a piece missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while, huh?
Yeah. But then like once you kind of like get used to it and you focus on like yourself and like focus on I mean for me like I was really into going to my workout class
Mm-hmm.
and I was focused on that and I was like reading like self-help books and stuff. I was like, "You know what? Like being alone is like I'm feeling good with it again."
Yeah. I think like most people also don't realize how much time heals a lot. Like time heals everything. So you just need to get back to like some rhythm of being alone and then you're just fine.
I feel like time does heal everything, but you still need to take like the steps to heal yourself. Like
Yeah.
you can't just not do anything and like would it be like, oh, as time goes by, like you still have to like work on yourself and do something. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't going to the gym and like doing something every day that kind of took my mind off of like whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
then it would have definitely been harder, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you felt that way?
What way?
Like when you're alone, like after being with someone
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh, this sucks, you know, like I'm not used to this.
Yes, I have felt that way.
What'd you do when it happened?
Um, Hmm. I think what I did was I just hung out with like friends and possible people to rebound.
So you ended up not being alone.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Although, when you're not in a relationship, you're still going to be alone, right? Like, let's say you get out of a relationship and you're used to texting this person all the time, calling this person, going to their house, or they're going to your house, like vice versa, whatever. Like, you're usually more preoccupied.
Yeah.
So you're used to being with this person all the time, and then all of a sudden you're not with this person. So you still have that time of like not texting a person or like not calling a person on the phone or not seeing a person. So you're still
Mm,
like alone, just
mm-hmm.
maybe during the day you're kind of occupied.
Mm-hmm. But it's that night.
Oh yeah, the nights are
Those
hard.
nights. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever cried over someone? Like, did someone like break up with you and then you cried?
Yes.
I can't picture you crying over someone.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I can't picture you crying. Elaborate.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'm sitting on, by the way.
It's my workout bench.
Pass you.
Pass you. I freaking went through a breakup and I was crying, dude. What do you want me to say? I cried for it's honestly so
This is
annoying
better.
the amount that I cried.
Yeah.
I'd cry like, whatever day, the fourth, fifth day, and I'm like, I'm still crying.
Why were you crying though? When you look back, like, why do you think you were crying?
I was crying because of like the the shock of it.
Was
Like
it sudden? Was it unexpected? Was it because you got broken up
it was
with?
unexpected. It was like literally like I thought my life was going this way
Mm-hmm.
and it completely like went that way, you know?
Did you think you were gonna be with this person, or did you sense a breakup?
I thought both. Like I thought I was going to be with this person, but I also was like, damn, should I break up with her? Like things are like, like lots of red flags.
But you were down to just like
I wanted to make it
still make it work.
I wanted
Yeah.
to make it work. I was like, I can make it work. I can make it work. And because of that, I it hurt more because
Mm-hmm.
I was really trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being like she's like, no, it's not gonna work. And I'm like, huh? Like I was the one like, worried
Thinking,
about you,
yeah.
thinking she's gonna like freaking kill herself, you know?
Yeah. How many
And
times does that happen where you worried about your partner
every time.
like killing themselves?
Oh.
Oh,
Just the one time. Just the one time.
okay.
But other times it's been like me always feeling bad, like wanting to break up with them.
Oh, that's what you were answering.
Always feeling bad about it, you
Because
know?
I actually had a person that I was with that I was concerned that they were going to kill themselves.
Mhm.
It was when I was younger, but I was,
Oh,
I was
wow.
I just didn't know how they were going to react.
Yeah. Like you weren't sure if they were gonna be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of scary.
It is. And that's why, I was like very like hesitant towards it.
But she was like, nah.
She's like, "Well, fuck you." And I remember like during like when it was happening, I was like, "I don't know if I'm going to be okay."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "No, you'll be okay." And I'm like, "Fuck you." How do you know? So it made me like more like not want to be okay. I'm like, "No, I'm not going to be
I'm
okay."
not fine.
Yeah. It was all messed up. But like honestly, it happened for the best.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's what we tell ourselves every time. Like it is happening for the best. All of it.
Yeah.
It is in every way.
Okay.
Like all jokes aside, like all of the shit that's happened when we were younger, like has happened for the best,
Hmm.
right? Aren't you like more happier where you are?
Yeah, dude. Like even like today and like past few days, I'm like, I'm like really happy right now. Like I finally hit that point, and I'm like, oh, and I'm just gonna leave, mess it all up. Like it's so nice, dude. Like everything right now.
That's good.
Well, my job kind of annoys me still, but that's normal, right?
Yeah, that's everyone's job. Do you have any questions for me?
You want me to interview you?
Sure. I feel like people don't have
What?
questions for me ever, so
Because you always
because
like
I
ask
always
the
have all these
questions.
questions.
What was like? What was a time that was really, really hard for you, and how did you get out of it?
Okay. Well,
That could be a lot of different
there could be
things.
so many things. I've had so many times that are hard for me.
Like
Okay.
a time that, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know. Do you want to hear like an emotional story? Do you want to hear like um
I want to hear one where, like, at the end of it, you were like a badass.
okay. Eh,
You're like none.
let's see. I'm trying to think of these stories so I don't like throw people under the bus.
Mm-hmm. Not to say too many names.
Yeah. Okay. So a hard time was when my brother was in the hospital.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That was a really hard time for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um I'm not a religious person, or I especially wasn't during that time. And I just like prayed to God. Have you always believed in God?
I think so.
Have you always believed in like Christianity or Catholicism
I've
or
never been. I was born Christian. I was raised Christian. So yeah.
so it's always just been Christian
Mm-hmm.
and you've just like never doubted God?
So what happened? Okay, you were telling your story.
I
Then you started
know.
asking me questions.
I do that.
But what happened was, um, when I was like 13, my sister was 20 or 21. She
Hmm.
got in a really bad car accident, and she was in the hospital. And we went to go visit her, and she was like fine. She just had a scratch, but they were like, she should have died
Yeah.
because the car. They showed us a picture of the car. It was flat,
God damn. That's scary.
and I was just like, how did she survive that? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my grandma saying like it was God, it was angels protecting her, and like literally like she had a scratch on her.
Yeah.
So I was like, to me, I was like, she lived for a reason. And she
Mm-hmm.
literally got pregnant like right after that.
That's crazy.
So that made me believe a lot.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And you just like have never doubted God.
No, I haven't, because when I was in middle school, me and my friends would all go to church together, like me and Noreen and Mariah. And the chapter we were reading was the book of Revelation, and it's about like the end times. And I just remember thinking like it was such a cool story, like the whole chapter. And that really made me, I don't remember what the pastor was saying, but I was just
Hmm.
like this shit's real.
Okay.
And like I felt it was real too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt something like change.
So you just like held on to all these beliefs.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's good to believe in something.
It is. It's
Yeah.
healthy. People that age and they have something to believe in, they're usually happier than the people that don't. But
Yeah.
yeah, when my brother was in hospital, I didn't believe in anything. And like have you heard of that joke of like when and it's kind of like a lot of people say this joke when if you're in a plane and that plane is like it's crashed or it's like going down, you start praying to God even if you don't believe in God.
Mhm.
It was kind of like that. I felt like
Mm.
that feeling where my brother's in the hospital and the doctor had kind of told my mom and I like he's either gonna make it or he's not. That's literally it. It's
Mhm.
literally a 50-50 chance. And I just remember like praying to God and like doing all that I could do to just like, I don't know, like send good energy or like just hope and like believe that it was going to be okay.
Mhm.
And, it did end up being okay. Like my brother survived it and like he's alive. And I just remember that was a really hard time for me to like overcome. And I, because of that, like, I started kind of believing in God, not in like a religious way, but more of like a spiritual way,
Mhm.
where like I didn't really have to like define God through a religion, but I could still hold on to something because
Mhm.
I felt like that was probably God. I don't know.
So that made you believe in
Yeah,
something a
in
little more.
something.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of things, not a lot, but there's been a few things that have happened to me in my life where I'm just like, that happened because of like God, things like even me getting my DUI.
Yeah,
Because like, I feel like if I had been way more drunk driving than that time,
yeah,
and I feel like something way worse could have happened.
that's true.
And it was just like a sign, like, you need to freaking
Slow down.
do like better.
Yeah,
And like so many things like that have happened to me, like even me moving to Portland, like
yeah,
me going through that breakup, like it was a sign, like, uh because like I basically knew what I had to do, like to go and like not be in that relationship, but I didn't do it, and then it ended up like blowing up, and then
in your face.
yeah,
Yeah,
and to me that was like, listen to your intuition, you know.
yeah, or like look at the signs and look at everything
I
that's in
saw the
front of
signs, but
you.
I didn't do anything about them.
Yeah,
And then it forced me to move, and that I proved to myself like I could do it, you know.
yeah.
And that was like, I don't know, I feel like that was God like telling me like, yeah, you could do this shit, you know.
So I have a story, not really of like overcoming anything, but I guess maybe a sign from something.
Mhm.
Um, and I was at a festival and I was like I took ecstasy and I was drinking and I like smoked weed and you're like, "Uh-huh." So I was
Mhm.
like on all these things and feeling all these things. Anyway, my phone was dead. My friend's phone was dead. The group that we were in went somewhere else, and me and my friend just wanted to go home. And you can't order like an Uber or anything because your phone's dead.
Right.
So we got a taxi, and she got dropped off at her house first, and I was the last person to be dropped off. And I just told the taxi driver, I was like, I didn't have a lot of money in my bank account. So I was like, just like drop me off when it hits $50 because I
Mm.
can't like afford it.
Mhm.
And he just like kept driving. He was like, okay. And then I saw it hit 50 and I was like, hey, like, can you just like drop me off here?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even close to being home.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I was just like, I was still like clearly not sober or anything. And I was just like in my head, I was like, I could do it. Like, I could just figure it out. I could get home. I could walk home. And he was just like, he's like, I'm just gonna turn off the meter. And he's like, and I'll take you home. And he just like took me home. And
Wow.
when I look back on that like memory, I just think about like how dumb I was and how like naive
Mhm.
and like I just like didn't consider my safety or anything.
Mhm.
Like I kind of even put money before my own self.
Mhm.
And like someone was looking out for me, and it was that
Yeah.
taxi guy. But
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
he didn't even know me, so
Wow.
I don't know. I just felt like that was like a sign from something that like not like
Like you're being protected.
I was supposed to be safe that day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you never told me that story.
yeah.
It's a good one.
So yeah, so I got home safe
That's
and
really nice of that guy.
I know.
Wow.
It's just crazy. Like, do you ever like do people ever do like nice things for you and like they don't even know you?
Well, what the story you just said reminded me, I was also at a festival in high school, whenever we were in festivals.
Yeah.
It was me and like a couple other people leaving the festival at like, 2 in the morning or whatever. And apparently I was really dehydrated and I fainted. Like, have you ever fainted?
No.
It's weird. Like, you just completely lose consciousness. And then when you wake up, you feel like a brand new person. You're like, whoa, like you needed that.
Did you know that like when you faint, do you know that you fainted?
I knew that I fainted, but I just remember feeling like I needed to faint, and now I
Hmm.
feel better.
Okay.
So anyway, I fainted, and then like my friend was carrying me, and then this like couple, this like Hispanic couple, were also leaving. They're like, "Is she okay?"
Hmm.
And they're like, "Yeah, she just fainted. She's like dehydrated or whatever." And they're like, "Where do you guys live? Like, how are you getting home?" And we were like, "Oh, we're not sure yet," or whatever, because like we didn't really have a plan. And they're like, "We'll take you guys home. We're taking you guys home." And this
Yeah.
random couple gave us a ride home
Yeah.
because they saw that I had fainted or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's really cool."
It's just crazy how like I don't know. There are still nice people out in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of people that I still think majority of people in the world are nice and like they mean well, right?
Yeah, I think
Good
that's,
people.
yeah. I don't know, but then like you talk to other people and they're like all paranoid and shit. Like they're like, no, like they're a serial killer and all that. I'm like, my
Yeah.
mind doesn't work that way. Maybe it should though.
I feel like the same for me. Like maybe
Yeah,
I'm a little too
I
optimistic,
feel
or
like we
maybe I
are.
look at people, I look at
Like
things on the
I
bad
look
side.
I look at the best in people, which can definitely be a bad thing because it
Yeah.
could be like a terrible person and you're like, but they like, you know, got me a card for my birthday or
Yeah.
like,
It's true.
like little things like that.
Yeah. What's another like random thing that you're just like that person didn't have to do that for me, but they did that
mm,
you remember?
well, when I had a therapist in Oregon and I had seen her like a lot and it turned out that I didn't even have insurance the whole time.
What?
Yeah,
So she was
because
just like giving you sessions for
she
free?
thought I had insurance, but I didn't because apparently, like, when I went to the new Trader Joe's, I was supposed to like renew my insurance and I
Hmm.
never did. So I had no insurance. And she's like, you know what? Don't worry about it.
That's a super nice thing to do.
Like, literally, like 8 or 10 sessions, she's like, don't worry about it. But she was moving back to California, so she couldn't be my therapist anymore. But then we were trying to figure out, like, the insurance thing. She's like, don't worry about it. And I was just like, wow, you literally saved me like at least a thousand
Yeah,
dollars, you know?
therapy sessions are expensive. It's crazy. It's a really nice thing to do. That's actually like probably the nicest thing anyone can ever do for you.
I mean, like, it's like, she hears about all this shit that happened to me, and then she's gonna be like, by the way.
You're in debt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I felt like a huge relief after that.
that's crazy. All right, so we'll end it here. Thanks for
Thanks for
watching.
joining.
Um,
Till next time.
like and subscribe on YouTube. Okay, bye.
Bye.